Welcome to Wilson's channel.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Chat with Wilson podcast. I'm your host, Wilson. This is specifically episode 18 featuring Casey, aka TheBrownBullet. What's up, Casey? How you doing, man?
Hi.
Short and sweet, just like you, man. I'm just kidding. He's
Bitch.
he's actually really big. He's actually really big, guys. Anyways,
4 inches taller than me too.
No. Hey, give us a brief introduction about yourself, Casey, before I ask you the hard-hitting questions.
Oh god, the eulogy of. So, oh my god. So I feel like a lot of people, I started streaming during COVID. There was like nothing to do, right? And I think how I got into Twitch itself was just because to be honest, I just wanted to make money.
That's so
Right, but-
honest. All right.
Yeah, but I think what came out of it was because like you know being in San Jose like all my life and stuff, and
Oh, all your life.
like my friends like from high school, we kind of like grew apart almost, like because everyone was like doing their own thing, and then I was like, fuck, I don't got friends. So once I started meeting people like Ohana on Twitch, I think that's where that happened, and then here we are, like what, four-ish years later now.
Wait, when did you meet everyone? Like in 2020 or 19?
I feel like Drew remembers it better, but I think it may have been 2021, probably.
Okay.
Because I met Drew first at the time.
I see.
I
I
think.
see.
Uh-huh.
Okay, we'll get into the details of all that. Here, let's start with the icebreaker. All right. Give me 3 names from Ohana, like 3 like really close people to you. Okay, how about this? Arvin, Drew, and one more.
Pico.
Okay.
And can I also add on the 4th? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Definitely Ellie, because especially like, because even before I met Ohana too, like
Wait, you
I
said
met
Ellie?
Ellie and yeah, Nova XO.
Oh, Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's call him Ellie. Got it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Say the 4 of them, right? So Drew, Arv, Ellie, and Pico were all drowning, and you could only save one of them, right? For whatever reason, who are you picking to save?
Who am I picking to save? Oh god, bro. If I say a name, I'm gonna get cooked in the call after we're done with this.
This is the icebreaker to start the
Bro,
things
do
off.
do I have to choose, bro? Oh fuck.
Of course.
Damn.
This is a tough starting question, guys, just to break the ice.
Out of them 4, huh?
Yeah.
Probably Drew.
Oh, okay. Why is that?
I think it's because like over the years, the amount of times like he's helped me both like mentally and career wise too. Like
Yeah.
especially like when I was in the stick like before. Because I used to work at Tesla, and bro, I was miserable over there.
Oh shoot.
And he was the one that actually reached out to me to actually work at his company.
Oh, okay. A little history there.
Yeah.
Okay, so there you go. Drew was the chosen one. All right.
That was really, really hard to choose, though.
Drew
That
didn't
was
pay
really
him or
hard
anything
choose.
to say that, by the way. So no
No,
behind the scenes
no.
stuff. And welcome in everyone. Appreciate y'all. We're just getting started with the podcast right now, featuring Casey. I have him here for like an hour, so we're just gonna chat it up. All right, Casey, how would you describe your personality? What do you like?
Out of pocket.
Okay, why do you say
Definitely
that?
definitely out of pocket. I feel like a lot of my humor is very. Some people would probably deem it inappropriate per se, but I definitely consider myself like a fun person. once you get to know me, because usually at first I try to be nice just to give people the benefit of the doubt. But once you really get to know me, then the roasts start happening,
Yeah.
right? And then I think that's like when my actual personality comes out.
I could see that, but the thing
Like,
is, like, I see people roasting you more than you roast them.
yeah, that's true. They definitely have more ammo on me. Usually I just like play it off and like laugh it up just because like,
Yeah,
you
but
know,
you
like,
could take it, yeah, and it's
yeah,
fun for you.
and like vice versa too. So
Hmm.
props to them.
All right. So although you could like joke around and everything, would you consider yourself more of an introvert or an extrovert? And do you prefer like smaller group settings or large ones?
Ooh, I feel like it depends. Definitely depends on my mood, but I would say leaning a little bit more extroverted. Like if I'm in a like larger group and I'm meeting my friends' friends, for example,
Yeah.
right? I'll try to stick with who I know first, and then let's say if they try to initiate a conversation, or if feel like someone's almost left out, like in the group, then I'll try to initiate conversation, talk to them. So it's a little bit of both. Like I
Awesome.
like
Mm.
small group settings, but I also like large group settings. But it really depends on whatever situation I'm in.
Yeah. But you could get socially burnt out though, right? After just
I
like
can, yeah.
hanging out
Hmm.
with everyone.
Definitely, I get socially burnt out more than I did when I was younger. I feel like when I was younger, because I didn't really have any friends, I was kind of just, like that itch where you kind of really need human interaction constantly. And then
Yeah.
now, like, I'm okay with being by myself more.
Okay, that's good. Let's talk about your childhood, the early days. What was life like growing up, especially where you're at now, and what was the relationship like with your family?
So to pretty much break it down, my relationship with my parents was never that good. So we moved around a lot when I was little. So which is why that kind of steamed as to why it was hard for me to make friends because I moved schools from ever since I started to around like late middle school. I kept moving every 2 years. So
Mm.
over time, I kind of deemed that it kind of wasn't worth making friends just because um, cell phones were not really that accessible back then either,
True.
right? Like we didn't have like unlimited texting like how we do now, and there was no way to contact them. And a lot of the times, even after school, my parents would just either pick me up or they would just ask me to just come straight home. So I never really had friends growing
Mm.
up. But other than that, I think now the relationship with my parents is a little bit better, but there's still like a lot of things that kind of irk me about it.
I see.
At
I
least
see.
to like, yeah, to my understanding. But so far it's okay. It just depends on the day, I guess.
Okay. So when you were like moving around, was it just you, by the way, or do you have siblings? And like, where did you specifically move? Was it more so in the Bay Area?
Ish around there. Like it was just my little brother and I, right? So we lived in East Side, um, Fremont. We also moved all the way up to Tracy as well. Came back and then lived in Milpitas. And then, do you remember where Morel Middle School is? It's like
Yep.
nearby you.
Yeah.
I lived like right behind like that, behind like that Target. And then
Oh, I
after
see.
middle school, moved here to like my current location. I've been here since 2010. 2010.
Oh, wow. So since then, you're just there the whole time. It's consistent.
Mm-hmm.
You're older too, so that's when
Yeah.
you kind of like solidified your friend groups and everything growing up.
Oh no, not even like that. I didn't when I met like the high school group I was mentioning earlier. I didn't meet them till senior year. So the first 3 years of high school, like I also did not have friends.
So what kind of kid were you in high school then? How come you couldn't make friends or you didn't make friends?
It's just more so like quiet, and I feel like a lot of the people, because my old friend group from middle school, they all went to Indy. I was like one of the few that went to Piedmont, right?
Mm,
And
yeah.
then so the cliques that they had in middle school, they were already established by the time freshman year rolled around. So it was kind of hard, I guess, trying to talk to each group and like my classmates. So I would get along with them, but at the same time, like I felt it didn't feel right, if that makes sense.
You kind of felt like an outsider or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely, definitely.
I can imagine like being late to the group and everything too.
Mm-hmm.
So, what was your relationship with your brother like? You mentioned you have a younger brother.
So to give reference, we're 4 years apart. He's the younger one,
Yeah.
and I feel like I was just really mean to him, like growing up, just because like in the mind of like my kid self, like I always just thought he was like annoying, but as like we both got older, it definitely like settled down. Our relationship got like a lot better. So I would say we're pretty close now versus like when we were like little.
Yeah. I see, I see. So, what was your high school stereotype? Like, what were you involved with, and what would you like think of yourself then, back then?
It's like one of those anime nerds, bro.
Into anime
Because
and anime?
yeah, so like because I didn't have friends, I had so much time on my hands at home. So after like I would do my homework and like study, all I would do was watch anime and read manga. That's it. And listen to K-pop. She's right. Yeah. I got into K-pop like freshman year too.
I heard you used to dance. Is that true?
Yeah, yeah, I did. That's how I met like my first real friend group, right? In senior because we had a Korean dance club at the time,
Yeah.
and that's how I met like a lot of them, and that's how I met my
Ooh.
girlfriend Sherry there too.
Oh, wow. So it was like mainly K-pop dances.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much. Like when that was around like the time where BTS first came out too,
Dang. So
and like no
you're
one liked them. Yep.
wow. You still got the moves today or what?
Oh, bro, I tried, and like I'm as stiff as a board now. Can't.
Oh, all good. That's cool though. For people just to know like some of your hobbies from back then,
Mm-hmm.
just to have that understanding.
It
Okay,
was
so
what were the two groups? It was SNSD first, and then it was Shiny, then EXO, and then BTS. Those were the four main groups I listened to
oh,
back then.
what would you say were like the biggest challenges for you growing up as a kid? Like aside from moving constantly, because that is a huge one that I could think of. But would you say there's any with either like family or just something that you've gone through yourself?
I think it had to do mostly with career choice. Like growing up in a typical Filipino household,
Yeah,
they always try to push nursing. And like when I was younger, like I was like, okay, I can't really imagine myself doing anything else. I might as well just go for it, right? But as I got into college and I started taking those classes, I realized that it wasn't something I wanted to do per se. And then because of that, I started to not try as hard in school anymore. So it was just more so like trying to figure out what I wanted to do for my career. That was like the biggest pain point that I had.
where'd you go for college, or what was like the plan?
Dianza, I got my associates there, and I
Mm,
was supposed to transfer to SJSU. Decided not to transfer to SJSU, and then took like a year break, and it ended up becoming a 2 year break. Tried to go back to school, tried first semester, didn't like it, and then I ended up dropping out after.
I see.
Mhm.
Well, like, what was your mindset like when you like took a gap and tried to like get back into it, and then ultimately just decide not to finish?
It just felt like there was a lot of social pressure in it,
Mm,
right? Because with me, if I genuinely don't see the bigger picture as to the reason why I'm doing something, then I'm more likely of a chance to not do it. And so I always felt like I was being forced by them, and then over time I decided to just not follow what they were telling me to do
I see.
because it's not what I wanted.
Like, how about today though? Have you figured out what specifically you want to do?
Yeah. Data analytics for sure. definitely like a hard concept, but I feel like I fell in love with it because Drew was actually the one who showed me that Coursera course. Because there was like a course that you can like pay
What
for
the
to learn
heck?
data analytics.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so we were actually working on that together at the time, and I saw the value in it, and I felt like that's kind of like where the light switch, where it's a very lucrative career, definitely a lot of competition, but at the same time, it's very fulfilling,
Hmm.
and that's kind of where
Interesting.
I'm at now.
It's been a while since we last spoke about your career path and everything, or at least with work. So, do you want to give us like a rundown, like a history of all your jobs that you've had?
Yeah. So I worked a bunch of really weird jobs. So obviously, like out of high school, first job, like what everyone gets, customer service, retail. I mostly worked in the Great Mall at the time, and then after that, I kind of grabbed other jobs here and there. Like I worked at Amazon for a little bit. I worked at a boba shop for a little bit, and I felt like I was not able to stick to a job due to a variety of different reasons. Like I either didn't like it, the management. I was also going to school at the same time, so it was really hard to find a work that could balance that.
Hmm.
And then once I dropped out, I went to Tesla during COVID. That was around like the time like COVID started, and then Tesla was the only one that accepted me. I thought I liked it until I got injured on the
Injured
job.
hell.
So because I'm short, right? When they have the cars on the belt, and then there was one station where you're supposed to install subwoofers into the Model X's, and because like the trunk lid was so high, and it was a really weird angle, so you're basically reaching forward and kind of like turning, and you're on that same station installing subwoofers for like 3 to 4 hours at a time, and ended up pulling like a back muscle, and I never got workers' comp for it. So
Wait,
because it was, hmm?
no, why? Yeah, yeah, go for it.
I never got workers' comp. Like I tried to talk to my management about it. They're like, "Oh, we'll have someone that could check on your back and like give you medicine, show you some exercise you can do to stretch." But they never compensated me for getting
It's
injured because people get
crazy.
injured there all the time. They never get workers' comp,
Yeah.
never. And so I quit. And then it was really hard to find a job like after that because it was COVID. And then that's when Drew came around and he told me that there was actually like an opening at his job at his place.
Okay, and then they took you in.
Hmm.
And is that your current job or?
No, no. So I was doing a lot of like data entry, content management with that role, and then like what happened with a lot of tech layoffs over the past few years,
Yeah.
I got laid off. Our team got cut, even all the way up over to our highest position manager.
Wow.
She
Hmm.
got laid off. The entire team got laid off. So because of that, I think I was jobless for like a few months until they said that there was another project that they needed people for, but it was call center. And you know how
Oof.
it is like a call center, it's extremely mentally draining and
Yes.
exhausting.
Yeah.
For a few months, quit, didn't like it, jobless again, and then I was looking on LinkedIn for a while for a data analyst role because I around that time that's when I finished my course. It was really hard to like find a job, but I was able to find a risk assessment role at the regional center. So a regional center, every city has one. There's one like in San Jose, and they mostly serve a lot of clients, low income families, people with disabilities. And I actually got fired from that one.
Oh, what the heck? What happened?
Yeah. So remember how a lot of places there's like a probation period,
Yes,
so you're
like
not
three
supposed to
month or
call off work.
so. Oh,
Hmm.
oh, okay.
Yeah. So I ended up calling off a lot because I got sick, and I was like run down like with a fever. It was like a bad flu, and then they messaged me like a month and a half later saying, "All right, pick up your stuff. You're not fit for this role. We're resigning you."
Damn.
Yeah. And fast forward a little bit later than that, think around like this year, January, started working at a restaurant as a host because I had no restaurant experience prior to that.
Hmm.
And then, as I was working there, I finally got a data analyst role, and I just started last week. So now I'm working both.
Wow.
So I work at the restaurant on the weekends, and I do my data analyst work at home.
You work from home? You found a role from home?
Hmm. I did.
No, that's awesome. Because I know it was tough, right? It was tough for you to like look for jobs. We were talking about that back then. How'd you
Hmm.
find this like role? Was it also from LinkedIn or something?
LinkedIn, yeah, LinkedIn, and kind of stretching the truth a little bit, um, like especially like with my resume, my experience. But I felt like I had enough knowledge, and my interview skills were good enough.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you could probably get a role where you feel like you're not qualified for, if you know the basics, because what they're mostly looking for is not just how to do the role, and it's mostly how they like you as a person, how coachable you are, and if you're actually a good fit for the team
Hmm.
themselves.
I see. Nice. So you've had
It-
many jobs. Out of all of them, what would you say was like the most challenging for you?
Ooh, talking about physically or mentally?
Well, let's say mentally, because I feel like physically it might be either the Tesla one or Amazon one, right? Because especially
Mm-hmm.
if you're in like the
Yeah,
shipping
definitely.
department.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mentally.
Oh, I would say mentally was probably call center. Call center was hard because it's nonstop talking
Yeah.
all day. So even though the role was remote, I was getting paid a little bit less versus the previous project I was on. You were working on Eastern Standard Time, so start at 6 in the morning. Well, technically you have to wake up at like 5:45
Yeah, three
our
hours.
time.
Okay.
Hmm. And then you're just on call constantly. As soon as you finish a call, which could probably range from 30 to 45 minutes, because like and they're renewing like their Medicaid applications. That's basically what the role was.
Yeah.
And as soon as you finish the call, another one pops up.
Just like that. No way.
Non-stop. Non-stop.
I see. So where you're at now, are you pretty content with doing both jobs, like as a server and analyst?
Definitely not a server yet. Like I'm a host specifically, but
Yeah.
and because I'm only able to work 2 days out of the week, they're not able to cross-train me. Like they're extremely strict over there. So
Mm.
um I'm most likely gonna stay as a greeter over there unless I'm able to find like a restaurant where they could hire me as a server and they're willing to train me right off the bat, working only two
What
days.
what type
But
of what type of food?
dumpling house,
Okay.
dumpling house. Hmm.
We'll see you there one day.
And yeah, I saw
On the
I
way.
saw Vinny like I saw
No
Vinny
way, you did?
I think like a month ago or so. He like messaged me. He was like, "Hey, do you work at this place?" And
Huh?
then I was like, "Yeah, I just got off work." And then I didn't realize that he was at the mall at the time too.
Huh.
Hmm. So you'll
Dang,
most likely
super
see me in
cool.
the front.
Okay. Again, welcome in everyone. Appreciate you for being here. What's up, Ali? Yeah, we're learning about Casey's life right here. Casey, I'm gonna grab my boba real quick because I did order boba. If you need water or anything, feel free
Oh,
to get some. Okay, and we'll continue.
you lucky bitch. Probably gonna get some later.
Got my lights and everything. Turn on
Mm.
my lights too. Tell it to work. Right back.
How are you,
Oops.
chat? Bro, I haven't been on camera on stream in a while. How you guys doing? Two, I'll actually be joining you and Wilson soon. So I'll probably have to say this story later, but the expensive gym I was currently at, and finally I canceled the membership to go back to 24. It just wasn't really sustainable. So and I kind of want to be able to work out at night again. So I'll be joining you both whenever you guys are free. I don't know when I'm gonna make that or assign for that membership. It's done on the 15th of next month. So I'll probably
Oh, you're talking
either
about
sign up.
signing up again?
24-hour fitness.
Yeah, I saw
I canceled
your
my. Yeah.
tweet.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Little comeback, and then
Together again, bro.
you could show us the way.
You could show me the way with that crazy ass volume you do.
No, that was definitely before. I cannot do that anymore, especially after work. I'm just so gassed.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, cause like you ended up going into the office around that time. Oh yeah, yeah, I get it. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yo, Roy's
It's
here
tiring,
too. What's up,
bro.
Roy? All
Oh.
right. So that's like we talked about your work experiences. You know what? Let's just talk about the gym for a bit, since that's one of your interests and your hobbies. What was your mindset to get started with the gym, and what has your journey been like so far?
Bro, I was sick of being skinny. Like, I was always like the short, skinny kid, like in school, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was really hard to gain weight. And then when I started dancing, so keep in mind, I was eating the same amount, which wasn't that much, right? And then when you add like heavy cardio and dancing on top of that, I got even skinnier in senior year than I was in junior year. And so after I graduated high school, I was like, I really have to start working out. So I tried going to the gym, but I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I would do
Real.
like a bunch of different like machines. You know what I'm talking about? Like you
Yeah.
start off with a bunch of different machines trying to get
Sampling.
used to the movements. Yeah, you don't even try to attempt like free weights, dumbbells, barbells, none of that. And you chase the pump and then you go home right after. And it was very inconsistent for years. So I think I started working out technically like 2017, but it never stuck. So I would like work out for 2 3 months, either get too busy or get sick of it, be off for 3 months, go back for another 2 months, off for 3 months, get sick during the wintertime, lose all that progress, and then start over. It was like that for years.
Oh.
But I feel like didn't. I started taking it seriously when I started raving. So like
What
around like
the?
yeah, so like 2017, 2018. Um, but it still never stuck because I would train pretty hard for 2 to 3 months, still wasn't eating good, and then enjoy the event and then stop.
Okay, okay. So that was 2017-18.
Yeah. And then when did they meet Ohana? It was probably 2020, 2021, around there. That's when I met them, and then we had like our first Ohana trip that first year where I met them.
Yeah.
I told I promised myself that I don't care if I'm motivated or not. I'm gonna go consistently until it becomes a habit where it gets to the point where if I don't go, I'm gonna hate myself or I'm gonna feel like shit.
That's so real.
Like
Mm.
there was just like it was a light bulb switch,
Yeah.
and fast forward 2.5 years later, and like here we are now, and I've been consistent ever since.
Dang. So you just somehow let it click to you as soon as you were like around Ohana and everything, and then you just push yourself.
hmm Yep. I was
Okay.
tired of quitting. I was tired of just quitting. I was tired of lying to myself. I was
Yeah.
tired of saying I was gonna do this, and then the motivation dies down. I stopped relying on motivation. I started relying more on a promise to myself.
Yeah.
That's how it's stuck. So if there's anyone that's trying to go to the gym right now and you're relying on motivation, there's nothing wrong with relying on motivation, but know that motivation is temporary and that it could fluctuate and it will fluctuate.
Mm.
You have to rely on something else if you're serious about it.
Yeah. So ever since you've become serious with it, like what actually changed with the way you lifted and everything? You do more research. Like, did you change your diet? Like, how did your whole lifestyle change to, like that consistency?
So when I was finally starting to be consistent, to give reference, I was 140 pounds, um, probably like 12% body fat. So I was pretty much like stick and bones, right? And so doing a lot of research on YouTube, I was watching a lot of Jeff Nippard because a lot of his videos dealt with showing us workout programs and like movements, but showing scientific evidence as to why it's good or it could be good.
Mm.
So I was learning a lot through him. Like I remember, you know what I'm talking about, where when you're trying to learn something new, you're in the gym and then like you're on your phone, either looking at diagrams or watching videos on how to do the
Yup.
movement.
I
I
still
was
do that.
doing a lot of experimentation, right? See?
Hmm?
But definitely now it's more accessible on TikTok. And I'm always looking at like videos, right? So I started off with a 3-day full body split. Then I did push pull legs 6 days. Couldn't keep up with it. I was not recovering. And that just goes to show like how hand in hand everything is
Yeah.
and how like intertwined working out is together because you start working out, right? For example, you end up making some progress, you end up becoming stronger, and then you think to yourself, oh, I'm not recovering, which means I need more sleep. So you add that on. You start sleeping better. And then after that, you realize, okay, I'm plateauing, I'm not eating enough. So you start eating more. And it could go one of two ways. Either you start dirty bulking, which is what I did because I just wanted to gain weight. I was fucking buying McDonald's left and right,
Jeez.
fast food, eating late at night like noodles, like almost every night. And I did gain the weight, but you gained fat on top of that. And so I had to dial it back, right?
Mm.
And then told myself, okay, I gotta start watching what I'm eating. And the first step with that was trying to increase my protein intake. Just to make it easier to remember, it was 1 pound or 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight.
Oh, you go by
Or
that one
better,
1 to 1.
hmm or there were some months where I even ingested more protein, so it was like 1 pound per or 1 gram per pound of body weight of your target weight, like what weight you're trying to hit.
Yeah.
So instead of eating 140 grams a day, I was trying to eat like 150. On top of that, I started caring about making sure I had enough vitamins in my system, so I would start taking things like magnesium, fish oil, multivitamins. And that's kind of like where I'm at like right now. I don't have like a set diet plan because I'm not
Mm.
trying to cut anything yet. I'm just trying to gain as much like mass as possible, which is similar to like what you're doing, just trying to like you're okay with eating out, but try not to eat out like as often in terms of like fast food.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to eat enough. I feel like
Wow. So, like, what's your goal right now for your just fitness journey?
either hit 170 and then
Damn.
cut down to where I hit 10% body fat. 10 to 12 I feel like would be healthy and good enough for me where it wouldn't affect my hormones as much. I'm sitting at 161 by my 18% body fat. So there's still like lingering fat that's just there. But not
161.
that lean. Yeah.
Wow, but you've definitely seen a huge change like in your physique and your progress, right?
I feel like that's the cool motivating aspect as well.
Yeah.
Because like you know as well, like the first 6 months to like a year, you see some progress, but it starts so technically you don't gain as much weight. Like it starts to plateau when you have a few years under your belt, but you start increasing your strength exponentially and you start gaining like a lot more mass probably past year 2. Year 2, yeah. Probably year 2.
Hmm.
It's bad as a bench press. It's a
Yeah.
bed, a normal bed. You could see it in the corner. It's a normal bed.
Other than that, do you have like other than what's visible, do you have any like specific goals when it comes to the weight you push out and stuff like that?
Oh, for strength,
Yeah.
I contemplated powerlifting for like a long time,
Mm.
but I feel like not ready to commit to that yet. I mostly enjoy bodybuilding, so just focusing on my bodybuilding movements. But I still like incorporating compounds, just not like 5+ sets of like, let's say, deadlifts. I'm okay with doing like 2 to 3 sets.
Yeah.
So for deadlift, actually I have it's like a poster of like my goals of 2023. I need to take it down, but for deadlift 405, for military press a plate, for bench 225, and for squat 315. Those are my strength goals.
Which one are you the closest to so far, would you say, out of all those
My
goals?
deadlift. I feel like my deadlift. I'm probably like 20 pounds away from hitting 405. Military press, I've been stuck at a 35-pound plate for like a while,
Hmm?
because my progress with military press and benching got halted maybe a year ago to 6 months because I got 4 elbow injuries. It was 4 specifically in
Oh.
both elbows, both the inner and outer joint on both sides.
Hmm.
So I wasn't able to bench. I wasn't able to military press. But now, like, I'm good. Um, I'm like, I still military press, but I don't bench anymore. I haven't touched the bar like a barbell bench in a while.
So do
Or
you
like once
just
a month
do
maybe.
like dumbbells as a substitute?
Dumbbells, machines,
Yeah.
cables. That's it. That's all I do.
So you mentioned earlier that motivation could only take you so far, but you managed to like push yourself, and now you're going like you go alone a lot, right?
I
Yeah.
go alone. Yeah.
Like what solid advice can you give to other people about like just dialing into the gym and just being on the same path as you? Because I honestly feel like you've made so much progress, like even since the last time
Thank
we
you.
talked, which is amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. I feel like it's the same for you too. Like you definitely got bigger. Like you got wider too. And whenever I see progress from like my friends, I really it makes me happy because they're trying to better themselves, and not only that, they're enjoying it.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's something to give like to a new lifter. It's You're gonna feel uncomfortable regardless. You're gonna feel like, oh, I don't belong here. I'm gonna look stupid. Why are people looking at me? If it helps, if you know anyone that goes to the gym in your area, or even if you don't have, it could be even like if they have a home gym, you could do that. Having
Yes.
someone to go with and to like motivate you and like tell you it's okay and reassure you and help you and teach you would be way better to help you get started. Because when you're by yourself, you kind of don't really know what you're doing. You're kind of walking around with your blinders on
Exactly. It's
and
true.
trying to figure it out. There are some cases where you could even like ask someone who's seasoned, where you meet in the gym, you end up making friends in the gym too. You
Mm.
don't have to like know them prior to that. Most people are nice enough to teach. Um, and then once you do that, that's where the real struggle happens, where at the 1 month to 2 month mark, you're probably gonna feel like I'm too tired, I'm too sore, I'm too busy.
Yeah.
I feel like you just have to vision yourself maybe like 2, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years down the line. Imagine how you carry yourself, how you would look, and keep that image in your head as a goal. And then if you want to, you can make a promise to yourself, because you know that motivation is not gonna last, right? It's gonna come back for sure, but it's not gonna stay peaked forever.
Yeah. Oh, valid. Dang, that's deep. I love that, man. And thank you so much for the raid. It me, Nena. Thank you, thank you. Welcome in, Raiders. Jackson, what's up? Any good seeing you. Lulu, thanks for checking in. Tuna, two, bang. We got a podcast going on right now. My name is Wilson, by the way, guys. Alerts are offline during the duration of this podcast, and we have our special guest, the Brown Bullet, aka Casey, currently talking about his fitness journey right now. He's a huge inspiration for me and a lot of people, so I just want to understand like your mindset when you go through this journey. For you, we last spoke about how you're changing your split style, well, on Twitter, right? You mentioned that. But then you also mentioned earlier that you kind of get tired or you just haven't been recovering from doing like the push pull legs. So is that what you're doing right now? Because I think you're doing some sort of like push pull legs break and push pull legs, right?
So this new split, it's a really weird split. So it's a push pull legs slash Arnold split. But on, let's say, push day, like you hit your chest, shoulders, instead of hitting triceps at the end, they're already cooked by the time you get to it. So I swapped it out to doing biceps instead.
That's interesting.
And
Okay.
then for pull day, which was today, ended up doing back, rear delts, triceps. And I've been recovering fine.
Do you do deadlifts for both your pull days and your leg days?
Mm-mm. I only deadlift once a week.
Okay. And which
Actually,
day would you consider that?
that would probably be like on pull day, like what I did today. I started off with deadlift, but so it's push pull legs, and then the first leg day would be like either glute focus or quad focus. I could rest that following day, or I would keep my rest day for either Saturday or Sunday, and then
Oh,
it
so
would
you
be
choose
an
among
Arnold
that.
split right after. hmm
Yeah.
So it would be so after the first push pull legs, it would be chest and back, and then
Okay.
shoulders and arms. I
Yes.
never had a shoulders and arms day. A lot of that growth was lagging far behind my chest and my back, and especially like my legs. So I needed like a day where I can just solely focus on that, and then hit legs again, and then vice versa. I can like move the days around depending like what I want to do. Sometimes I even like starting the week off with legs, just to get it out of the way.
But when you do your legs, you mentioned like you like to split it, quad focus and then like hammy focus, or what's your
hmm
favorite? What's your favorite like routine for each?
Because before swapped to this split, I was just doing the same thing. And even though I was like hitting failure and trying to progress on my lifts,
Yeah.
it got kind of boring for me. And just to drive a little bit more focus, I ended up splitting it. So any posterior chains, so it would be both glutes and hammies on one of the leg days, and then vice versa on the other leg day.
All
Quads
right.
and abductors maybe.
What is your favorite specific workout for each of the groups? Curious to know this.
Oh, okay. We can start off with back.
Yeah.
Deadlift for sure. Starting
Okay.
off.
Okay.
Uh-huh. And then I don't really focus on lats too much anymore. I've been focusing more on upper and mid back. So right after deadlifts, I would either, depending if the machine is free,
Hmm.
it's a low to high row where you can actually like add plates on top and like it's chest supported. I like doing that
Oh,
for upper
okay.
back.
Yeah.
And then I like doing rear delts early to get out of the way and to focus on it. So there's multiple different rear delt exercises I could do. Either
Yes.
chest supported dumbbell row or reverse pec deck or cross cable rear delt flies. I alternate between those.
Whatever is available. Okay.
Whatever's available. And then I hit lats last. And just to keep it simple, you know how we start off with, like the V bar for the cable?
Yes.
And like you're seated upward and you pull? I mostly do that for lats, but I kind of lean forward. So you're not like completely upright. You're kind of lean probably 60 degrees forward.
Hmm.
And you pull and squeeze your lats from there.
Oh, okay. So you don't necessarily use the pull downs, lat pull downs.
Mm-mm,
Okay.
mm-mm. Because for chest and back that next time I hit back,
Yes.
I save that for weighted pull-ups. I don't really do lat pull down anymore.
Got it. Okay. How about chest day,
Chest day,
push day?
I start with inclines. either an incline machine press or an incline dumbbell press. And I go pretty heavy on it, like probably 4 to 8 reps or 4 to 6 reps. And then after that, for I don't really work on mid that much. It's either upper and then lower. Either 2 upper or 1 lower, or vice versa. I would say what I'm comfortable with doing right now would be an upper dumbbell press and then incline machine press or incline machine barbell press. And then seated lower cable flies. That's all I do for chest. And then probably for the front of the shoulder, dumbbell press or military press, and then dumbbell or cable lateral raises. So you're kind of seeing like a trend, right? Where I'm
Yes.
able to substitute different exercises of like what's either free or like what I feel like doing for that day.
No, I feel that. I do the same too. Like try to find alternatives, if anything. Okay, and then how about for your legs?
For legs, start off with barbell squat, deep barbell squat.
Oh yeah,
After
you
that,
go deep on those squats for sure, man.
not that much anymore, surprisingly. Like,
You do
because I don't really
pauses?
use my. No, I don't.
Okay.
Not anymore. So I kind of stopped maybe around slightly past 90 degrees,
Yeah.
just to have enough driving force to go back up. Because I felt like when I was pausing too much, I get stuck at the bottom or I lose my brace. Because you're trying to like breathe.
Okay, so
So it's kind of
squats.
more so like a, yeah, like a hip width stance now. Not too narrow, but I don't really go wide anymore either. After that, I either do single-legged leg press or front squats. I like doing front squats a lot.
Okay.
Probably finish up quads with single-legged leg extensions, probably. And either leg curls or dumbbell RDLs. Hit calves, either whether it's seated or standing. And then leg raises for abs. I hit abs twice a week on
Leg
leg day.
raises, hell yeah.
Hmm That shit's hard, bro.
No, it is. It is. I'm trying to do it like every day, so
Do you do it like where your elbows are supported, like on the padding, or do you actually do like hanging,
I
weight
do the
hanging on your
supported. I do the
elbow?
supported ones.
Thank God. 'Cause I can't
I
do the
can't
hanging one.
do the hanging ones. Those are hard.
Cause like you're swinging like a lot, like a pendulum, like
Yeah,
this.
yeah. I
Like,
feel very uncomfortable doing it, so yeah. So how are you like do you do any type of cardio or like how are you maintaining like the abs and like shaping it and everything? Cuz I know part of it is also like your diet, right? Calorie deficit probably, lower body fat.
I don't do cardio.
Oh, okay.
I hate cardio. Um, so the bottom two abs, the only reason why you're able to see it on Twitter is because of lighting mostly, but the top four is pretty visible, well, aside from like the layer of fat. But I feel like I did cut down on a lot of belly fat working at the restaurant because you're probably doing thousands upon thousands of steps.
Yeah.
You're walking constantly, and working there since January. I think the past couple months, I still weigh the same, but I did lose belly fat, fat. But
What's your best advice to lose belly fat?
you have to cut some carbs. You have to cut some carbs.
Okay.
Like it takes like a lot of discipline, but you can't cold turkey it. I feel like I've tried cold turkeying like so many times. Like a diet plan. I've also tried meal prepping multiple times. Didn't like it. Um, I would probably say try to figure out what your maintenance calories are, and let's say you're trying to cut, right? Keep your protein intake high, but for the first maybe few weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, only cut 200 calories daily. you have to get your body to get used to it, right? So you get used to that, you lose a little bit of weight. Once your weight plateaus again, then you cut like another, like let's say 150 calories. And in
Mm.
total, by the end of the cut, after like maybe 12 to 15 weeks, you shouldn't cut more than 500 to 600 calories, because that's the point where your hormones, especially for men, your hormones are gonna get fucked up. You're gonna be cranky all the time. You're gonna not sleep well, and it's also gonna hurt you mentally because as you're cutting, your strength is also gonna decrease too. So if you're strength training, it's gonna be hard.
Yeah.
You kind of have to just like accept like that you are gonna get a little bit weaker. Because you said I was built like Gragas.
I
Oh,
see.
you're about to go to the poo, bro.
Do you have like a time window of when you're able to eat? You strict with that?
No, if I'm hungry, I eat.
Okay. All right. Just wondering.
I'm definitely not disciplined. Like in terms of like actually having a successful diet, I am the wrong person to ask that. Because I never cut yet.
Oh. Yeah, you mentioned he just eats anything that he wants, so but he's motivated and he's like doing great right now. Yeah, again, love that for
Do eat
you.
out a lot. I do eat out a lot. It's my Achilles heel.
Do you all right, a last question about gymming. Do you would you say you have body dysmorphia or just like feel icky sometimes
Oh
about
hell
yourself?
yeah, bro! All the time,
Can you talk about
all
that?
the time. That shit does not go away. Like if you're thinking that you're gonna better yourself and then you're gonna get to your goal, trust me, there's gonna be something you're gonna end up nitpicking at, which is fine, right? You're human and like you always want to better yourself. Like for me, um, my arms, especially like my forearms, that was something I was always self-conscious of. My forearm bones are very, very thin, so even though like my shoulder grew, it kind of looks like a chicken wing, right? So that's why I started incorporating forearm exercises, even if it's just like one. Like, let's say on the first back day, you incorporate forearm exercise that hits this part, and then the second back day, you hit it over here.
Mm,
Definitely, in my forearms and my arms are like my weak point.
got it. Okay, so you know your own weak points right now.
And also lower chest. Like, for some reason, I cannot get the little C cup line until I realize that it's due to body fat percentage.
Uh-huh. Hey,
Yeah.
good to know. Good to know. Yeah,
Would you
this
say
guy
you are Dorito
Dorito
shape?
shape. Yo, you got it. Got just dude, look at his pics, man.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah, look at
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
Twitter pics. You have god tier lighting, I swear, at your gym too. It looks
That
so
shit's gonna
good.
go away, man. It's gonna go away.
Looks
Because
so good.
it's really good. It, thank you. Like it's really good in the studio itself, but like the gym itself is too well lit, which is why I'm excited to work out with you guys at 24-hour.
Mm,
Because you know how there's like some spots where it's actually a little bit dim,
yeah.
so the shadow looks a lot better. But I would say I have like a Dorito shape ish ish.
Okay. Do you feel comfortable showing us how to do the lat spread?
I don't know if I could from the
Lat
front.
spread.
So
Yeah, yeah, or whatever you're comfortable
let
with.
me. I think it's all about arching your back. So you arch your back first, right? So you point your chest upward
Mm,
like that. You can either put your hands on your hips or you can actually put your thumb and then your hand where your lat insertion stops. So for me, it's around like my third rib cage from the bottom. It stops around like here. So you drop your shoulders and you kind of squeeze your shoulder blades together, kind of like a fan. You're like kind of closing the fan, right? So you drop your shoulders, right, and then you're squeezing your back together, and you kind of just fan it out as if like you're trying to touch your elbows together. So it's something like that. And you have to make sure you arch your back because when you kind of go
bam.
forward, like it doesn't look as wide. You have to like kind of arch back,
Oh, you also have to arch back. Okay.
and even like inhaling, kind of like have you seen like a vacuum before, where they kind of like try to suck their diaphragm in?
Oh
Have you seen that?
yes, dude, that looks
Mm-hmm.
crazy. When
So you do that,
bodybuilders
right?
do
And
that,
then
like it looks like a
you
hole in
try to
their.
inhale, and then it looks a little bit wider because
Oh,
of it. It's all
sheesh.
about camera angles, man. It's all about
Sheesh.
camera angles and lighting.
He was asking if you could do the bicep chest thing that when you lean to the side and you're like,
Oh,
yeah, you've done it.
oh,
You've
that's the
done
one
it.
you did today, right?
Yeah, I
That's the
didn't
one
know
you
how to
did
do
today.
it. I was just like following Tu's instructions.
Dude, that shit's hella fun. So, wait, are they asking like how to do it?
Yeah.
So, it's kind of hard too. You're not fully turned 90 degrees, right? You kind of have to turn a little bit forward, like this. So you start by kind of clasping, you can either clasp your hands together or you can grab your wrist like this. So you squeeze your chest forward, drop the shoulders, and then look to wherever direction that you're facing.
Yeah.
And as you squeeze and bring it in, you have to squeeze your front lat, which ultimately drops the shoulder. It makes this shoulder rise. And as you do that, you're supposed to
Jeez.
press your bicep to your chest so it squeezes it. So it would look something like that, technically. And the point is to show like that.
Ooh.
That's how you
Okay.
do
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Impressive. Impressive. Have you like broke any fruits with your biceps or anything before?
Oh, bro, I wish. I want to try. I want to break a
Apples.
watermelon too, but I feel like that'd be a waste of food. Oh, the egg one, I've seen that one. Stupid.
Hey, go for it. Go for it.
I don't know. It's gonna be messy, bro. I'm good.
All
I'm
right.
good.
Thank you for that. This was like some gym talk. Moving forward, just a little bit about Twitch and social media. Oh yes.
Can I go pee?
Oh yeah, yeah. Go for it. Go for it. Go for it, please.
Thank you.
He's on me
You're
back. He's on me back. And guys, thanks for being here. By the way. Hey, that'd be impressive though to see him break an egg or other fruits. No matter what you break too, yeah. Imagine a watermelon. Damn, KC is nice and big, and I'm just egg big. Hey Drew, what are you doing tomorrow? What are y'all doing tomorrow? Any plans? Shall you be convincing people to go? Oughta be. Goal is to convince more people to go. Alright, guys? Trying to find a husband. Another one? LID, true. Very, very possible. Since you're not going to EDC.
Hello.
Random can find it for you. Hey, welcome back.
Thank you.
Alright, so question is talk about your Twitch journey, what it was like. Because you used to stream. I know you don't anymore. Or not as often for sure. But what was the history looking like?
I didn't know how to play like any sort of Riot game. When I started with my friends, at least like before I met Ohana, I was jumping around between games. I think one game that I actually streamed consistently was Destiny 2 and also Surgeon Simulator 2. And I wasn't getting any traction from that until Genshin Impact came out. And that game, that's when I started streaming consistently. And that's around the time I met Drew and Ohana
For Genshin?
through Genshin.
Oh,
There's a
okay.
Genshin community before.
Were you free to play?
No. No. we were getting you know how we were getting EDD money at the time because of COVID?
Yeah.
I spent 3.4K on summoning at the time.
Holy shit.
Like, dude, it was
The
such a big
addiction.
mistake.
The addiction,
I
Genshin.
was
Oh my
hooked.
god.
I was hooked. I was hooked, bro. And then I think after I forgot what banner it was. After working on many characters later, I got sick of the grind because it was the same thing. Like a new character comes out, the progression's very easy if you have the resources, and then the story was taking months to advance.
Yeah.
So I wasn't interested anymore.
Okay.
It was
So, what did you enjoy about streaming, and what did you dislike?
at least what I enjoyed about streaming the most was meeting people with similar interests and or showing me games that I never knew existed
Yeah.
and communities and the probably like the community behind streaming. Obviously, like there's bad apples like here and there, but overall, like you meet some pretty dope ass people through
Agreed.
streaming, and you could definitely like attest to that for sure. What I dislike about streaming, more so just setting up. Takes a while to set up.
Yeah.
I was never able to have like a routine down. I just cleaned up whatever was messy, and because I streamed a lot during the summertime, my room gets hot, like super super
Oh, I
hot.
feel that.
Yeah, and it's probably like the only thing I didn't like about it. I did get tired a lot talking for too long.
Yes.
At the same time, I really like talking, but I didn't have the social battery to do it. So I guess trying to keep engagement happening in chat, and not just the chat, but like to myself, just to keep myself entertained, was hard.
See. Then you ultimately like slow down and stop though, right?
hmm
Just
I
because you got
mostly
busy.
stopped. I mostly stopped because I wanted to focus on getting an actual career job. So
Yeah, that's
nonstop
fair.
searching for like in during work, after work, I would be constantly applying until one stuck. And I
Although
just
you,
wanted to just like,
oh, go ahead.
hmm?
Go ahead. You just wanted to what?
Sorry, sorry. I just wanted to just play games like with my friends right after, or just like enjoy a game. I didn't want to have to worry. I didn't want to worry about streaming, which is why I kind of like stopped.
Okay. Yeah, I was just gonna ask, like, although you stopped streaming, you're still pretty involved in the community, I must say. So, what type of streams are you currently watching nowadays, or like, what do you do to stay online in Twitch?
Mostly, it's mostly you guys. Like, whenever one of the homies or like friends of homies that I know of, whenever they start streaming stuff, it's just fun to watch. It's fun to watch. It's fun to chat,
Yeah.
and it gives me something to do.
Awesome. Okay, and to have like someone in the background while you're just like gaming yourself or just chilling with people.
hmm
Sick. Okay, talk about your introduction and like the experience of being a part of Ohana, like how it's changed over time. Because I know you guys have had phases way before I even joined, but what was like the dynamic for you and everyone? There's a lot of people, so
Yeah, there was a lot of like different waves. There were definitely people who were there before me, but that's like when they were inviting a lot of people at the time. It wasn't really like a serious community, at least what I saw before, but it was more so just like a server for friends, play games together, and like we were all streaming like a lot too, so there was a lot of degenning like the first like year I think, like because we were getting EDD money, we weren't working, we were just on stream half the time, so it would consist of like gifting each other subs, hype trains, drinking almost every night.
you've been drinking, huh?
Like literally almost every night. Like that was a lot of money, but we didn't care. Yeah, the dynamic like it has relatively stayed the same. A lot of us, there's some people that still do stream in the community,
like bless her soul, thank God. Um, a lot of the times it's just for us to like hang out, especially because a lot of people are working now and they're just tired from work. They just want to relax. That's how the server is currently.
Still nice though to see that everyone's like together and connected.
There's always people active. Like I think that's what I appreciate the most, especially because no one really lives in the same area.
True.
It's nice to be able to just connect with them, and it became like a habit too. Like I would be at the gym, and then I would just be on call all the time.
Oh,
Sometimes I don't even listen to music. I just like being on call,
yeah.
just hearing their voices.
What's your favorite thing that you've done with Ohana so far? Like a
The
memory.
trips, it's the trips, man. You already got a taste of that too. It's just so degen, but at the same time, you see these people like every day, right? Or you hear them every day, like on call. But like to actually see someone personally, in person, you're going out to eat, you're having fun, degenning, right? It just makes that something to look forward to throughout the year. We don't do it as much anymore, but at the same time, when we do have it, like it's gonna be a fun time, and you also know that we're not gonna sleep at all.
And for sure, got a taste of it, and I agree. Such a fun time, and plus you've been doing it for quite some time before that.
Like props to you. You were actually smart about it. Like when I came upstairs, and then you just had like your legs propped up like on pillows, just to like rest them because of you guys had the breakaway event like that night. I was like, that's smart. That's smart.
Recovery. Speed up the recovery process.
Like you weren't even asleep. You were just staring at the ceiling, just chilling.
Yeah, yeah.
Love that for you.
All right. So Ohana's good in vibes and all that. Speaking of like friendships and everything, what do you value when it comes to making friends, and what does it take to be close to you?
Loyalty. Loyalty, definitely. Um, if I'm investing my time, my energy into being friends with you, for example, um, and I know that it doesn't have to be 50-50, but at the same time, like if I know that you're putting in effort and like you genuinely enjoy my company just like how I enjoy your company, the friendship's gonna work. If I feel like you don't want to talk to me, I'm not gonna waste my time. That's something I learned growing up because I was a really bad people pleaser in the beginning because I had no friends and I just wanted some sort of like connection with someone
Yeah.
and like a group. As I got older and had like bad apples like over the years, I don't have any tolerance for bad friends. Friends. If like for example, I guess to give an example before, I thought I was friends with this one dude in high school. Like I thought he was cool, right? But then I found out he was talking shit behind my back for a few months. It's not to the point like where I get like trust issues, but it just became made me more aware and trying hard to not fully commit to the friendship until it's been proven to me, if that makes sense.
Oh, I get it. I get it. Now today you kind of like have your guard up then, right? Or at least you just know what to
Send.
look for, especially if
Mm-hmm.
someone a potential close friend to you, based on your
Like
experiences.
like I'm still friendly with people.
Yeah, and cordial.
Yeah, like I'll still like say hi, right? But to actually know you like that, I guess like if that's the correct phrase, then it takes time with me.
Yeah. Have you had any fallouts with like close friends or anything?
A ton, a ton. Not gonna name any names, but I have, I have. Did I learn a lot? Yeah. Did I make mistakes along the way? Yeah, of course. I could admit that. I made mistakes.
Yeah, and I'm sure
Sometimes it was
some
my
of
fault.
them have affected you a lot, right? So, could you say you
Yeah.
what's like a very important lesson that you've learned from that, like these fallouts?
Uh, for at least for me, advice to myself not to be so indecisive. and actually say what I want. In the sense, like voicing my opinion and being honest versus trying to beat around the bush and agreeing at the expense of what I want to do
Mhm.
or what I want out of the friendship, right? And I guess advice to chat would be depends. I feel like just be honest with yourself. I feel like that would be like another piece of advice I would give them. Be honest with yourself and kind of wear your heart on your sleeve, if that makes sense. Because people know when you're genuine, and people also know when you're being fake too.
Yeah. So you've had fallouts, but have you been able to like save any of those friendships or just like reconnect? Think.
Friends from high school, yeah, I was able to. Some of the ones online, no, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Life goes on.
Hmm.
All right. So to whatever extent you're comfortable with talking about like relationships and stuff, do you mind telling us about your relationship history?
Yeah, of course. Met my girlfriend in high school. Been together. It's gonna be, oh god, next week it's gonna be 10 years. 2014. That's when we
Damn.
got together. It's been like a decade. And before people ask where the fuck the ring is, I'm trying to move out first, right? It's expensive out here. Once we move out, then I'll save up for the ring.
Damn, you're hitting your 10
Yeah.
years next month.
Yep. Or not next month, next week. Next
Oh,
week.
sorry, next week. Next week. Damn. Yeah, that's amazing. You
Yeah.
you did mention how it was like from the club, right, or dancing, so back in school.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so what? Let me ask you like specific questions about your relationship. What keeps it going? Like, what keeps you guys staying afloat throughout like the 10 years? Do you think? Like, what works between you guys so well?
One piece of advice, um, the chat, not just the communication, obviously, big one. But also don't stop trying to date your partner. Just because you're together doesn't mean for you to be complacent and stop dating them. Always find something new to do. Um, always make it fun. Like try to make it fun. Like you're with this person, you're just investing time and money into this person, and they're doing the same, if not more. Invest time. Invest time. Find some similar interests. Like she doesn't game, she doesn't stream, but we still make time for each other, and we always have similar interests. One of our big sticks is that we like watching shows and movies together. We like going out to eat together. We like exploring new places together. And in recent years, we started traveling together finally.
Awesome.
Keep it fun. Eating caviar together. True. We
Yeah.
just had some yesterday.
What's up, Kate? Welcome in. Appreciate y'all
Just
for
had
tuning
caviar
in.
yesterday. Shit was hella good.
Oh yeah, because it was her birthday, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
It
you
was her
did
birthday.
something very special. I saw the flowers too, so looked so good.
Oh yeah, find their love language too. Her love language is flowers. Easy. Done.
Hmm. What's your love language?
um, love language. Well, other than food, I feel like it's just quality time, physical time.
Yeah.
That's why Wilson, I can't do a long distance relationship. Like I commend people who are able to, and I respect it highly. Because if I was in the same boat, I could not. Because um, I just want someone to physically be there.
Yeah,
Right.
I understand.
That's my love language.
So, between you guys, what were like the biggest challenges in the relationship? And would you say you were ever close to a point of like breaking up?
Yeah, yeah. There is a saying where around like the 2 to 3 year mark, that makes or breaks a relationship.
I hear
Second,
about that.
yeah,
Two
second year was
years.
pretty rough. It was pretty rough at the time, without going into too much detail.
Yeah.
But I think what got us through it was taking the time to figure out what we wanted out of the relationship, what we wanted for our future,
Hmm.
and loving your partner despite their faults. Or I guess saying loving your partner because of their faults. Because you can say I love you to your partner all the time, right? But the real test is when your relationship has been tested, either through arguments or like other means, and whether or not you guys are able to make through that. And if you guys are able to make it through that, then it's unbreakable.
What do you feel like you needed to work on throughout the relationship, or that you've
Oh,
like worked on
communication for sure, bro. Because
on your end? Okay.
I never was good at communicating, right? So, because growing up like in a toxic household,
Mm.
they always just said just keep your emotions in, no reason to cry, no reason to be vulnerable. It translated to my relationship whenever I was upset, or if I did something wrong, or if I didn't agree with something, I would just stay quiet and I wouldn't not speak.
Oh, so you would kind of like bottle it up, and then you'd be
Bottle up
able
and
to
then
kind of like,
explode,
yeah.
and then explode and take out my like just to like if I end up like yelling and stuff, then it would be bad, right? That's something that definitely got better over the years. Like I'm a lot better at handling like my emotions, and if I disagree with something, I'm down to sit down and talk about it. Let's talk about it, right?
Okay. Yeah, it definitely sounds like you've been through high highs and low lows, and then matured along the way. All these
Definitely. I'm
experiences,
still
which
learning
is
now. Still learning now too.
uh, year close to year 10. Jeez, that's amazing though, honestly. Let me ask you this. Since you talked about how you would probably have a difficult time doing long distance, how much time would you say spent seeing each other like throughout the week? Like what's a good amount for you guys?
Well, considering to give reference, both of our schedules are different. I work in the morning, she works at night. And because I work on the weekends now, she also works on the weekends. We both work 7 days a week. Our schedules are very, very different. So the way we make time is that we find like kind of like gaps in our schedules, right? We also schedule time or schedule days ahead of time, maybe like a few weeks in advance, but probably like once, twice, 3 times a week is good enough for me. Good enough for her as well.
Okay.
And we call every night too, so
Oh, awesome. All right.
mhm.
Glad that works because I know like for some people they might need to like see each other every day, for example, or I don't know. It could be different stages like of the relationship too. It's, it's good to know.
Like it's
Uh,
definitely up to the couple's discretion, like what they can agree upon. As long as they agree on something, you have to agree on something. If it doesn't work, make it work. If you want it, if it actually means something to you.
what would you say like is your ideal date? Since of course you've been on so many now, to keep things like flowing. But like, yeah, date
um,
ideas for other people.
date ideas. Women love food, bro.
Okay,
Try
food.
to try to find something. Obviously, yeah, Kate is right. Something that you could afford. Right? It doesn't have to be like super expensive or super fancy, right?
Yeah.
But um, just find something similar that you guys like. And if you guys don't know what you like, try to explore something new. Is there a chance that you might not like it? True, but it's the memories what is important. It could be in a different city. You guys could be traveling for the first time together. One of you could be traveling long distance to visit the other person. Find something new. Find something new to do. Find activities that you like. Hobbies, escape rooms, kayaking, whale watching. Just something fun that you look forward to that is either familiar or something new. You have to change it up.
Valid. So you mentioned it took quite a long time before you guys decided to go on like vacations and trips together, right? So I know a thing about relationships is that you take it to the next level once you start like living together or knowing how it feels to live together. I know you're not there yet because in due time you want that. But do you feel like there were challenges like when you guys like stayed together, went on vacations, or have you had thoughts about potential struggles when it comes to living together?
Every single vacation we've been on in recent year, there has not been a single moment where I felt like, oh, this is not good. If anything, like it made a relationship stronger because it was more fun. You found out new and interesting habits about like your partner. And that goes to show too, like finding out, like for example, like leaving in an excess amount of like her makeup stuff like on the countertop, and how like it's a little bit disorganized in the beginning on vacation, but you end up finding more to love about that person, where in a different connotation you would find that as a fault, but it's not. So in our experience, we didn't have like any bad moments when we were on vacation. If anything, it made it probably like some of the best memories we've had together.
Just love that. Phantom asks, was that a money thing because you guys got together in high school? So I guess like the vacations being later on, like the more recent years.
Wasn't an issue. Obviously, like we working side jobs and making just a little bit at the time, like while we were both in college. Uh, it wasn't because of that. Her parents are really, really strict.
Oh, okay.
She had to like lie like a lot. Like we were not able to go on our first trip together. It wasn't until year 7. We were together for 7 years. We finally went on our first trip. So playing catch up on that and actually experiencing, maybe that's why we don't really have issues.
How long did it take for you guys to like meet each other's parents?
She met my family a week after we started dating. I met her family probably close to 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks, I think.
Okay, so just right from the beginning.
Mhm.
And I assume you guys get along and everything, so.
Yeah, my parents
Alright.
love her.
A week is crazy. Hey.
It's in high school. It's like a lot easier to, because we have the same activities together. We were in the same club together. Go home at the same time together, right?
Yeah.
And I just started driving at the time, so
They were just like both
we have that.
families were accepting.
Mhm.
Nice. Alright. For you, what is your opinion on second chances?
Depends. I feel like yes, to an extent. Depends how bad you hurt the other person, and also depends on their willingness to forgive and whether it would be worth it. It's not so black and white, right? Because every situation is different. In terms of second chances, a lot of the times there ends up not being a second chance, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes it could work. You never know. There's probably a relationship out there that where the second chance did work. So I don't see why not it couldn't. But if
Sure.
it's like the fourth, fifth, second chance, I'm like, oh, all right. I don't know about that.
Yeah, whenever I talk about this, it's more like relative to like cheating physically or versus like emotionally. Like you said, it is situation.
It really depends, yeah. It depends like whether the couple is able to agree upon forgiveness, right?
Got it.
It's up to them.
Okay.
It's up to them.
Yeah. So, as of now, what would you say are your short-term and long-term goals?
Hmm. Long term. Long term. Trying to get married, bro. Trying to get married, trying to move out. trying to buy a house. Probably not here. We consider the other states too. So definitely buy a house
Relocate. Okay.
and mhm. Short-term goals probably become a better data analyst in my career, just so could hopefully transition to becoming a senior data analyst. But then like hopefully a few years. What's my ideal place to move to? I would say I'd love to move to Vegas
You guys.
because it's so close enough to California to visit and like to see LA. And ideally, we would really like to live in LA and San Diego, but it's really expensive there too. It's gonna be a lot less stress having to worry about finances if we get a house in, like, for example, Vegas. Get more
See.
for your money.
And how about for like traveling goals since you traveled? What are like some destinations that you've been to and that you want to go to in the future?
Been to New York before. Later on this year, so it could be my first time going to Portland. Been to Europe. We really want to go to Japan and Korea. That's like the two places we really want to go to. And I'm also gonna visit her family in Vietnam later this year.
Oh, nice.
So that'll be interesting to see.
Uh huh. Have you? Would you say you have like a favorite destination that you've been to so far?
Favorite?
Mm.
With her, going to LA and experiencing Disneyland together with her, Universal Studios,
Nice.
because she's never been to Disneyland. And then for me personally, like for example with my friends, New York. When Ohana went to New York for that meetup, that one was really fun.
Speaking of Disney, since it was her first time, like, what was the experience like for you guys? Was it super busy? Were you able to catch like a lot of different rides? Did you burn out?
So we paid for the Genie Pass, and then we also did
Nice.
California Adventure the next day. So, uh, we still waited, but like we were still able to experience mostly what we wanted to experience. I think the one thing that
Good.
we did miss was Toontown. We weren't able to make it to Toontown because my ankles were shattered by the end of the day.
Understandable. And then did you
Yeah.
guys try like all the foods, like the special drinks and foods?
Oh hell yeah, bro! Hell yeah. Um, had to get the turkey leg for sure. Churros, obviously. We were able to go to Pizza Planet. There was like a few other things, but I forgot.
Yeah, what was your favorite rides like for both of you guys?
And California Adventure, definitely the Incredicoaster, like the Incredibles roller coaster. That shit was
Ah,
fast.
always hear about that one.
That one's really fun. We didn't go on any drop zone or anything, but in terms of roller coasters, that was our favorite
Clam chowder bowl, bread bowl.
one. Oh yeah, that too. The clam chowder was also good.
Got that full experience at Disney and Universal. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, switching gears. We're getting near to the end of the questions, buddy. All right,
Sounds good.
as of now, um, you definitely give off like the energy, the vibe that you've grown so much. You know, it feels like you have your own ways of coping, right? With maybe your frustrations or like the downsides and negatives. How do you do that specifically? You're
Gym,
unhappy, sad.
gym, play games, hang out with my friends, anything to get my mind off of whatever irked me during the daytime. Sleep is a big one. Taking like a lot of naps, and just slowly, at least like in the moment, taking deep breaths has helped a lot. Especially like when I get like heated, I try my best to take a step back, breathe a little bit, do something else to get my mind off like whatever annoyed me at that moment.
How would you say you're doing mentally right now?
I'm good. Feel a lot better now. It was more so just finally finding a position. I can make a career out of. I think after 2 years of searching, bro, 2 years, it's tiring. But I'm actually okay now. But now the issue is just trying to save up enough money because I need to get a new car too,
Oh,
and
okay.
to move out next year with her.
So,
That's
oh, you have a plan for next year?
yeah.
Oh, have you even thought about like family life and everything towards the future too?
Yeah, we have.
Year is gonna be quick, man.
It's already passing by hella fast.
Yeah, like honestly. All right, so this is a curiosity question. Um, you talked about how you started raving back then, right? You've been to
Lovely.
quite a few, but maybe not everyone knows, but you don't go anymore. Yeah, I know that. Um, I could have met you on that one day that we're actually at a
Oh,
rave, but it just didn't
yeah,
happen. I
that's
knew
right.
of you, but it just didn't happen. So, why did you stop raving? What's like the reasoning behind it? And let's talk about your experience.
Yeah, of course. So we were raving. Both her and I were raving nonstop. 2016 or 17, all the way over to COVID, nonstop. A lot of events. And because we were never able to travel due to like the other reasons I just spoke about, we both kind of agreed that financially and also like physically, it's kind of just want to stop, right? Which in turn like kind of has like a clashing opinion because I still haven't experienced EDC and I still there's a few friends where I still want to at least rave with once
Yeah,
before I fully stop and
yeah.
I'll be satisfied. She doesn't think the same way. She just thinks that we've done that already. We should focus on other things, which is fair. Nothing wrong with thinking that way. So I don't know, because I know she doesn't want to go to any other one. Um, Unless I'm able to convince her if I could go to another one, sure. If not, I have to respect her wishes too.
Oh, I see, I see.
And that's where compromise comes in. You have to learn to compromise too. That's something I had to learn over the years.
Yeah,
And it's not like I'm saying, oh, only do what they want or what they say or what they want to do. You have to think about like the bigger picture like that way too. I have been going for like a long time,
see, I see.
right? There are other goals I want to do other than raving, and that costs money too.
Oh, for sure. I get it overall. Um, uh, so you've had your fair share, and it definitely is like a financial thing. But if it wasn't a financial thing, would it be okay?
Hell yeah, bro. Of course I would go. I'd be going to EDC with you guys this year and next year.
At least you still like come out and everything to hang out with everyone.
Yeah, of course. I think that's like the main argument or the main thing that would work because like I don't see you guys, right?
Mm.
Ohana, you like friends of Ohana, different communities. I only see you guys online. So being able to see you guys like physically, because with last breakaway I didn't even go,
Yeah.
so I still came out, but didn't go to the event. We just had fun after.
All right. Say this is like a situational, like specific event. Okay.
Mm.
Say you like Seven Lions, right? Seven Lions.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Say
Hmm.
Seven Lions came back, played at Bill Graham, and
Ooh.
someone paid for your ticket. Would you go?
If they pay for it, yeah. I'd
Damn.
probably go.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably go.
Now you know, guys, how to get him out.
But please don't buy it, dude. I'm really debating about Martin Garrix, Drew. Because I haven't seen Martin Garrix.
Oh.
I just have to have that conversation with her, like, hey, never been, never seen Martin Garrix.
Mhm.
Can I go with my friends? I'll be
No.
safe, I promise. That's for the conversation. You know what I mean?
When's your
But
exact birthday?
huh?
When's your exact birthday? Month and
It just
day?
passed. January 15th.
Okay. Okay. So early birthday present for for Mark Garrix
Oh my
or
god.
something. Throw
No, no,
some
no.
bias
It's
ticket.
okay.
All
It's
right,
okay.
I'll see you there, buddy.
Like it needs to be. I need to convince her first. If I
Yeah.
could go,
Okay.
I need to convince her first. That's like a big factor. Once she agrees, then it's game. It's fine. We ball.
Yeah.
But
I get it. You gotta respect that, and it's between you guys.
mhm. Yep.
All right. Wrapping things up. So, curious question that I always ask everyone: what was your first impression of me, and then current impression? So you could do like online whenever you heard about me, and then actually meeting now.
I would say when I first tagged along on, I forgot who rated you. You were streaming, and then we rated you, and then I was like, "This dude's nice." And then I looked down, I was like, "Holy shit, he's famous too! What is this?"
What the-
And then I was like, "He's famous and he's not an asshole. I like him." And I guess like talking to you more and like meeting you in person at like at Drew's gig and during the breakaway trip, like what I said before, where I like people who wear their hearts on their sleeves. How you were online and your Twitch personality is the same exact person that gets popped out when you see him in person. Wilson is that same guy. He's very honest. He tries his best to make a community, make sure everyone feels welcome, safe, and look what you built because of it. And I
Thank
could not
you.
be more proud of you.
Appreciate that,
It's
man.
not easy.
Always a good experience hanging out with you and everyone. So always appreciative.
First,
All right. Do you have any questions of your own or things that you want to talk about before we wrap things up? Could be about anything.
um, what are your plans for events? Do you ever plan on slowing down eventually, or have you not really like thought about it yet?
Oh yeah. So since I am in that phase of like looking forward to doing so much every weekend because going through the work days, I do feel like I will slow down within the next few months because I don't know if you know, but my my project is basically shutting down, so it's kind of like a tech layoff as well. So I'll stop working, I think, by July, like or July-ish. So looking forward to like the future. I can't really like be spending like that if I don't have a job, and there's just a lot of uncertainty. So where I'm at with the events lined up now is what I'm comfortable having, and then yeah, I have to be very, very like strict with myself if anything pops up. I still have a lot like lined up realistically, including
That's
EDC.
good.
Between like as of now, I have like
Ooh,
4 festivals lined up already, and then just a bunch of like shows.
god damn. I'm
So
excited for you, bro.
yeah,
You're gonna have a
thank you.
blast.
It's always fun, man. You already know. Like even if we hang out during the after parties, you've had a fair share of raving. The good
Real
goods.
part. The real party's after the.
No, I appreciate that question.
That's
Uh,
good though. I'm glad that you're at least just trying to enjoy yourself, but you do have the self restraint to know when to hold back.
hmm.
So,
Well, that's a good question. So I am considering doing like group podcasts and stuff. Would you be down to be a part of group podcasts?
oh yeah, of course. Probably gonna get cooked again. I'm down for it.
Who would you include in that, Drew? Like the Bay Area Ohana boys, like Arv, maybe even Joe. You two. Is there anyone else?
Joseph.
Oh,
Jason.
Jason. Yeah, we could plan something. Cutie, welcome in. We got a podcast going on. Appreciate you for joining. Okay. I'll reach out to you guys to try to work on something. Like
I'm down. I'm with it.
having a lot of people would be very interesting, but regardless, a few would be great too. Lots to talk about.
Definitely.
All right. Yeah, I think we're looking good with all the questions here. Do you have any last few words to say to those who are tuning in or just in general?
Uh, I guess more so like life advice. Just know that wherever you're going through right now, it's temporary. Know that it is gonna get better. I don't know how, I don't know when. That's definitely what got me through what I had to go through.
Yeah.
It'll get better. It'll get better. And if you have like a good support system, and if you don't, make one. Or even if like you're okay with figuring it out on your own, just know that it's gonna get better. That's it.
Love that. Such a positive message. Definitely agree. All right. Well, that's a wrap for this episode with Chat with Wilson, episode 18, featuring Casey, aka the Brown Bullet. Thank you once again for being such a wonderful guest and for taking time to be a part of this podcast. Shout outs to you guys for tuning in to this episode as well. This will be on YouTube within the next 2 days or so, so feel free to drop by that video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you guys are watching on YouTube. And yeah, stay tuned for future episodes. I'm gonna bring Casey back along with some of the Ohana boys for a future podcast. It might be sooner than later, so just you guys be on the lookout, okay? All right, that's a
Gotta be out
wrap.
of pocket, bro. Out of pocket. Just kidding.
Just let everyone be honest with themselves, you know? Give the good energy, the funny stories, all that. There'll be a lot. There will be a lot.
We have a lot.
All right, guys, that's a wrap for this one. Take it easy. Peace.